then they gave an amount of what it cost, 25,000. I didn't know. I've always asked and never got an answer. Here.
Call.
Here.
Mayor Migas. All present except Commissioners Decker and Densberger, Your Honor.
Thank you very much. Please stand for invocation.
Shall we pray? Heavenly Father, thank you as we enter into a new week, we enter into a new season of spring. We have anticipated it for some time and very grateful that we're at this point in the calendar. We ask your blessing on our meeting tonight as we deliberate over several issues on the agenda, but do pray your will be done, that we display kindness and servanthood at the same time. We ask your blessing now. In your name we pray. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Mayor, I move that the minutes of the regular meeting, special meeting for a working session, and closed meeting, executive session meeting held on March 7, 2017 be approved as printed.
Second.
Roll call.
Commissioner Jeffers.
Aye.
Call.
Aye.
Mayor Migas.
Aye.
Of all present voting aye, Your Honor.
Thank you very much. With proclamation tonight,
Is this Michael?
whereas Parkinson's disease is a chronic, progressive neurological disease and is the second most common neurodegenerative disease in the United States, whereas there is inadequate data on the incidence and prevalence of Parkinson's disease, but it is estimated to affect 1 million people in the United States, and that number is expected to more than double by 2040. Whereas Parkinson's disease is the 14th leading cause of death in the United States, according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Whereas there are millions of Americans who are caregivers, family members, and friends greatly impacted by Parkinson's disease. Whereas it is estimated that the annual economic burden of Parkinson's disease is at least $16.6 billion, and indirect costs to patients and family members total $6.3 billion. Whereas research suggests the cause of Parkinson's disease is a combination of genetic and environmental factors, but the exact cause in most individuals is still unknown. Whereas there is currently no objective test or biomarker to diagnose Parkinson's disease. Whereas there is no known cure or drug to slow or halt the progression of the disease, and available treatments are limited in their ability to address patients' medical needs and remain effective over time. Whereas the symptoms of Parkinson's disease vary from person to person and can include tremors, slowness of movement and rigidity, gait and balance difficulties, speech and swallowing disturbances, cognitive impairment, and dementia, mood disorders, and a variety of other non-motor symptoms. Whereas volunteers, researchers, caregivers, and medical professionals are working to improve the quality of life of persons living with Parkinson's disease and their families. Whereas increased research, education, and community support services are needed to find more effective treatments and provide access to quality care to those living with the disease today. Now therefore, I, David W. Migas, Mayor of the City of East Peoria, Illinois, do hereby proclaim April as Parkinson's Awareness Month in the City of East Peoria. Thank you, Rogers, here, the representative. Appreciate everything your organization does, I guess is the proper terminology there.
We hold support group meetings on the first Saturday of the month. April 1st, we're going to have a big educational seminar.
Good.
And I thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. God bless you. Appreciate all you do. We'll get that on our website too.
Great.
There you go. Thank you. We are agreeable. Any other communications, Madam Clerk?
Tonight, Your Honor.
We will go to the consent agenda. Commissioner Jeffers?
Any comments from the audience, sir?
Any comments from the audience, sir? Anybody in the audience want to speak to the council on an agenda item? Thanks, Commissioner. Seeing none, go ahead, Commissioner.
Mr. Mayor, I move that to adopt a consent agenda consisting of items numbered 1 through 4 as listed on the agenda for this meeting to be considered by omnibus vote.
Second, please.
Second.
Roll call.
Commissioner Jeffers.
Aye.
Call.
Aye.
Mayor Migas.
Aye.
All present voting aye, Your Honor.
Thank you.
And as we proceed, Mr. Mayor, I move that items numbered 1 through 4 listed on the consent agenda be hereby approved and adopted, the items numbered 2 through 4 having been read once by their title and having laid on the table for no less than 1 week for public inspection be adopted as presented.
Second, please.
Second.
Commissioner Call. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Jeffers.
Aye.
Call.
Aye.
Mayor Mingus.
Aye.
All present voting aye, Your Honor.
Good job, Commissioner. Please continue on.
All right, Mr. Mayor, we've combined between Mr. Call and myself, we get to do.
We're going to get this.
Get this done in a proper way. Mr. Mayor, I move you that ordinance number 4329, here to attach, an ordinance authorizing a special use for property located at 105 North Main Street in the city of East Peoria, Tazewell County, Illinois, to allow an outdoor storage lot on the property, including without limitation, a facility utilized for the storage and sale of propane gas. Be read at length by the clerk and that said ordinance number 4329 be accepted on its first reading and be hereby adopted as presented.
A second, please.
Second.
Commissioner Call, thank you.
Whereas Chase Real Estate Group, the petitioner, has petitioned for a special use to allow an outdoor storage lot, including without limitation facility utilized for the storage and sale of propane gas on property located at 105 North Main Street and zoned as B3 Business Service District, which property is shown and described at Exhibit A, attached hereto and incorporated herein by reference, which property as so described is hereinafter referred to as the property. Whereas after hearing pursuant to duly published notice, the East Peoria Zoning Board of Appeals has recommended approval of the proposed special use subject to certain conditions hereinafter set forth. Now therefore be it ordained by the Council of the City of East Peoria, Tazewell County, Illinois, that Section 1, a special use to allow an outdoor storage lot on the property, including without limitation, a facility utilized for the storage and sale of propane gas, is hereby approved. Section 2, the establishment and continuation of the special use hereby authorized is contingent upon continual compliance and with all applicable provisions of the city code and the following special conditions. 1, the outdoor storage lot, including a propane storage and sale facility, shall be located on the property in accordance with a site plan prepared by the petitioner and approved by the Director of Planning and Community Development. 2, the propane storage and sale facility shall be screened in accordance with the recommendations of the city's Design Review Committee. 3, all improvements authorized or required by this ordinance shall be completed and continuously maintained in accordance with the site plan. Upon the violation of or failure to comply with the foregoing conditions or with any provisions of the city code applicable to the property or its use, the city council may, after providing reasonable notice and an opportunity for a hearing, terminate the special use hereby approved. Section 3, this ordinance is hereby ordered to be published in pamphlet form by the East Peoria City Clerk, and said clerk is ordered to keep at least 3 copies hereof available for public inspection in the future and in accordance with the Illinois Municipal Code. Section 4, this ordinance is in addition to all other ordinances on the subject and shall be construed therewith, excepting as to that part in direct conflict with any other ordinance. In the event of such conflict, the provisions hereof shall govern. Section 5, this ordinance shall be in full force and effect from and after its passage, approval, and 10-day period of publication in the manner provided by law.
Okay, thank you, Morgan. This is to, as stated, to allow for the storage of, for sale and storage of propane in the former Shopco space, which MC Sports recently there and other vacant areas. I think Ty's been announced publicly who it is going in there, but this is to accommodate their business. And
He's
so-
looking at me because
I would defer to the petitioner who's here tonight. I'll let him choose to share with you what
Really,
he can. but-
it doesn't matter. We're providing them the means to sell propane.
Yeah, and this is also for outdoor storage and display of items. So the nature of the business has a couple of components. We've worked with Chief Knapp to make sure that we've got appropriate setbacks and
Right.
protections for the propane tank. It will be along the Washington Street frontage. But it looks like we've got a good location for them, and it should be a nice addition to this space.
Yeah, I think it's a win-win, the whole business and the situation, very well thought out and good thing.
Other discussion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Jeffers?
Aye.
Call?
Aye.
Mayor Mingus?
Aye.
All present voting aye, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Next, Mr. Mayor, I move you that ordinance number 4330 here to attach, an ordinance authorizing a special use for property located at 2466 Washington Road in the city of East Peoria, Tazewell County, Illinois, to allow the siting of an automated ice kiosk. Be read at length by the clerk so that said ordinance number 4330 be accepted on its first reading and be hereby adopted as presented.
Second, please.
Second.
Commissioner Call.
Whereas Stack's Water Systems, the petitioner, has petitioned for a special use to allow the setting of an automated ice kiosk on a property zoned B3 Business Service District and located at 2466 Washington Road, shown and described at Exhibit A attached hereto and incorporated herein by reference, which property is so described is hereinafter referred to as the property. Whereas after hearing pursuant to duly published notice, the East Peoria Zoning Board of Appeals has recommended approval of the proposed special use, subject to certain conditions hereinafter set forth. Now therefore be it ordained by the Council of the City of East Peoria, Tazewell County, Illinois, that Section 1, a special use to allow the siting of an automated ice kiosk on the property is hereby approved. Section 2, the establishment and continuation of the special use hereby authorized is contingent upon continual compliance with all applicable provisions of the city code and the following special conditions. 1, petitioner shall place the kiosk on the property in accordance with the site plan prepared by the petitioner and approved by the Director of Planning and Community Development. 2, the footprint of the kiosk shall not exceed 36 square feet. 3, the kiosk must be protected by concrete bollards or other suitable device located in accordance with the site plan. 4, all improvements authorized or required by this ordinance shall be completed and continuously maintained in accordance with the site plan. Upon the violation of or failure to comply with the foregoing conditions or with any provisions of the city code applicable to the property or its use, the city council may, after providing reasonable notice and an opportunity for a hearing, terminate the special use hereby approved. Section 3, this ordinance is ordered to be published in pamphlet form by the East Peoria City Clerk, and said clerk is ordered to keep at least 3 copies hereof available for public inspection in the future in accordance with the Illinois Municipal Code. Section 4, this ordinance is in addition to all other ordinances on the subject and shall be construed therewith, excepting as to that part in direct conflict with any other ordinance, and in the event of such conflict, the provisions hereof shall govern. Section 5, this ordinance shall be in full force and effect from and after its passage, approval, and 10-day period of publication in the manner provided by law.
Thank you, Morgan. I think this is the first time we've ever had in our agenda propane and ice on the same agenda, back-to-back ordinances. This is perhaps a fairly simple thing, but yet it's the first one in our city. This automatic ice kiosk would take up the space of an ATM, has been described to me, 3 foot by 6 foot. It's a very small footprint, and to be located in Sunnyland One Stop. So that's what we're going to do, and go for it, and you can get ice at all hours of the day. So,
Other discussion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Jeffers?
aye.
Call?
Aye.
Mayor Mingus?
Aye.
All present voting aye, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Next, Mr. Mayor, I move you that ordinance number 4331, here to attach, an ordinance changing the zoning classification of certain real property located on North Summit Drive in the city of East Peoria, Tazewell County, Illinois, changing from R1, one-family dwelling district, to R3, two-family dwelling district, to be read at length by the clerk, and that said ordinance number 4331 be accepted on its first reading and be hereby adopted as presented.
Second, please.
Second.
Commissioner Call.
Whereas the hereinafter described real property located in the city of East Peoria, Tazewell County, Illinois, is currently classified under the East Peoria zoning code as R1, one-family dwelling district, and whereas Prairie Investment Properties has proposed an amendment to the zoning map of the city of East Peoria for the purpose of changing the zoning classification of the property to R3, two-family dwelling district. Whereas after hearing pursuant to duly published notice, the East Peoria Zoning Board of Appeals has recommended approval of the proposed rezoning. Now therefore be it ordained by the Council of the City of East Peoria, Tazewell County, Illinois, that Section 1, the foregoing recitals are hereby adopted and found to be correct. Section 2, the zoning classification of the property as shown and described at Exhibit A attached hereto and incorporated herein by reference is hereby changed from R1, one-family dwelling district, to R3, two-family dwelling district. Section 3, upon the effective date of this ordinance, the change in zoning classification hereby adopted shall be marked on the official zoning map of the City of East Peoria. Section 4, this ordinance is hereby ordered to be published in pamphlet form by the East Peoria City Clerk, who is ordered to keep at least 3 copies hereof available for public inspection in the manner provided by law. Section 5, this ordinance is in addition to all other ordinances on the subject and shall be construed therewith, excepting as to that part in direct conflict with any other ordinance, and in the event of such conflict, the provisions hereof shall govern. Section 6, this ordinance shall be in full force and effect from and after its passage, approval, and 10-day period of publication in the manner provided by law.
Thank you, Morgan. Ty, I'll let you describe this. This is actually a good thing in the whole area, what we see happening off North Summit. Go ahead.
It is. This is one of some other additional interests that we're receiving in the Summit corridor. You recall that we made that extension happen here a few years ago, and we're starting to see interest out there. We have a planning commission case coming up next week for property that's close to the corner. This one in particular is opposite Lexington Drive, which comes in there at Summit. It's a pretty sizable piece of property. We're encouraged to see the interest here, and I think duplexes would be a good fit. The petitioner here has indicated they're looking at something of the quality of what you see in Cypress Ridge for duplexes, so it would be a nice fit in this area.
Okay. Very good. Other discussion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Jeffers?
Aye.
Call?
Aye.
Mayor Mingus?
Aye.
All present voting aye, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Next, Mr. Mayor, be it resolved by the Council of the City of East Peoria, Illinois, that resolution number 1617-140 hereto attached, a resolution accepting the lowest responsible bid for Fire Station Number 4 engine bay roof replacement from River City Roofing Company, Inc., in the amount of $29,500 be approved, and that this resolution number 1617-140 be accepted on its first reading, as read by its title, and be laid on the table for no less than 1 week for public inspection.
Second, please.
Second.
Commissioner Call.
The
Thank you, sir.
building there, the roof structure there at House 4 is 29 years old. I remember when they built that station. Commissioner Decker, who's gone tonight, serves there often. But it's time to update the roof. It's not really had any major roof work done in forever, repairs, and so we're seeing some repairs. This has been an item on the list to get done, and so as Chief and the department looks at their expenses, we've had some savings in other areas, and it's able to stay within budget, or overall budget, pay for it, and get the advantage of course, the reliability of a dry building, as well as increased insulation and better payback as far as heat and air and so forth. So it's a good thing, but we had 2 bids, and there was actually a nice break in the 2 bids. This was a good job, a good company to do the work, so we're very fortunate to have that.
Very good. Other comments?
Yeah, the only
Commissioner?
thing I'll say, he mentioned the 2 bids. It was River City Roofing came in, which were, they will be the ones to do the work for $29,500, and Kryling Roofing was $42,287. Jeff Eater's not here this evening, so I'm not going to speak for him, but he had brought to my attention the need to get this fixed sooner rather than later. So the chief went to town, and within 3 line items within the current budget, we decided to go ahead and get this taken care of. So,
Thank you. Other comments? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Jeffers?
Aye.
Call?
aye.
Mayor Mingus?
Aye.
All present voting aye, Your Honor.
Thank you.
And finally, Mr. Mayor, be it resolved by the Council of the City of East Peoria, Illinois, that resolution number 1617-141 hereto attached, a resolution accepting lowest responsible bid for East Side Gymnasium lighting upgrade to replace 58 light fixtures with LED lights from Springfield Electric Supply Company be approved, and that this resolution number 1617-141 be accepted on its first reading as read by its title and be laid on the table for no less than 1 week for public inspection.
Second, please.
Second.
Commissioner Call.
This is
Thank you, sir.
a planned expense. The lights were last replaced, and it may not sound that long ago, 2007, which not quite 10 years. However, by going to new light fixtures, LED light fixtures, the payback with the expenses, and we're getting grant from Ameren, et cetera, the payback on this is less than 1.5 years, the electricity savings. So it really makes dollars and cents to do this kind of thing, where you can replace in 1 year, 1.5 years, you've paid for your new lights, and from then on, your utility rates are about 3/4 reduced. They're only 25% what they were before for that area, the main area of the gymnasium. There's 58 fixtures here, so it's quite a high bill, but we'll see some great savings for a long time after this purchase. So the money that is being used to pay for this, besides the grant we're getting back, is being used from the electrical, Ty, help me here, the
Aggregation fund.
Yeah,
that word,
electrical
aggregation fund, that comes from the city's contracting of the electrical supply here for the city, and we're get a partial fee of that is paid to us, and so that's helping to pay for this, so it is paying for it. So overall, it's a win-win. Good time.
Thank you. I just might add that's the Department of Commerce and Economic Opportunity.
Absolutely. And it's exciting to see the city head in this direction. We've been doing this
Yep.
for a while, so hopefully we'll keep moving forward.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Jeffers?
Aye.
Call?
Aye.
Mayor Mingus?
Aye.
All present voting aye, Your Honor.
Thank you.
That's all at this time, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Commissioner Jeffers. Commissioner Call.
Yeah, Mr. Mayor, I have 6 items this evening, 5 of which were Commissioner Densberger's. Wish him a happy birthday. He picked a good week to go celebrate that. 5 of the 6 items this evening are directly related, 3 of which are actually second readings. I won't spend a lot of time on the second readings. The first one is going to be Resolution Number 1617134. Be it resolved by the Council of the City of East Peoria, Illinois, that Resolution Number 1617134, hereto attached, a resolution approving contract with Optimum Health Solutions for assisting with employees' wellness program, be hereby approved, and that this Resolution Number 1617134, having been read once by its title and having laid on the table for no less than 1 week for public inspection, be adopted as presented.
Second, please.
Second.
Commissioner Jeffers.
Thank you, Commissioner Jeffers. This was actually the second reading. Commissioner Densberger touched on it. Our city's got a wellness committee, and that committee actually conducts employee health and wellness program, and is what we're doing here is contracting Optimum Health Solutions to conduct individual health screenings, and health risk assessment programs for city employees, and they assist the Wellness Committee with the program throughout the year. It provides services for $70 per individual health screening performed, while coaching services are at $25 per coaching meeting or telephone call, and quarterly education presentations billed at $250 a month for 10 months.
Thank you. Other discussion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Jeffers?
Aye.
Call?
Aye.
Mayor Mingus?
Aye.
All present voting aye, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Next, Your Honor, Resolution Number 1617136. Be it resolved by the Council of the City of East Peoria, Illinois, that Resolution Number 1617136, hereto attached, a resolution regarding the third-party administrator for the city's group health insurance plan, approving contracts with Consociate, Inc. for TPA services, and Hines and Associates for utilization review, large case management, and pre-certification services, be hereby approved, and that this resolution number 1617136, having been read once by its title and having laid on the table for no less than 1 week for public inspection, be adopted as presented.
Second, please.
Second.
Commissioner Jeffers.
So there's actually two different parts of this resolution tied together. The city's got a self-funded group health care plan, and we are contracting with Consociate, Inc. As the TPA, and Hines and Associates for additional administrative services tied into the health care plan. Our Insurance and Benefits Committee, along with some of the staff, and I know Scott Brunton from Miller Hall and Triggs, did an excellent job of going out to market for all of our services this year, and did a very diligent job controlling the cost.
Thank you. Other discussion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Jeffers?
Aye.
Call?
Aye.
Mayor Mingus?
Aye.
All present voting aye, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Next, sir, Resolution Number 1617137. Be it resolved by the Council of the City of East Peoria, Illinois, that Resolution Number 1617137, hereto attached, a resolution regarding the prescription drug benefit manager for the city's group health insurance plan, approving contract with MedTrack Services, LLC, for prescription drug benefit manager services, be hereby approved, and that this resolution number 1617137, having been read once by its title and having laid on the table for no less than 1 week for public inspection, be adopted as presented.
Second, please.
Second.
Commissioner Jeffers.
So basically, this is a 2-year contract with MedTrack Services to provide the pharmacy benefits. They'll be the pharmacy benefits manager for the city's health care plan, which and cents, offering the best price for prescription drugs administered under our plan.
Other discussion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Jeffers?
Aye.
Call?
Aye.
Mayor Mingus?
Aye.
All present voting aye, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Next, Your Honor, it is resolution number 1617142. Be it resolved by the Council of the City of East Peoria, Illinois, that resolution number 1617142, hereto attached, a resolution regarding preferred physician and hospital network for the city's group health insurance plan, approving physician hospital organization agreement with Methodist First Choice, Inc. be approved, and that this resolution number 1617142 be accepted on its first reading as read by its title and be laid on the table for no less than 1 week for public inspection.
Second, please.
Second?
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Jeffers. So this resolution and the next one are the two new components to the healthcare plan, and this basically contracts it's a 3-year contract with Methodist First Choice Network of Hospitals and Physicians, provides excellent service and benefits for all city employees and retirees. And it also includes, this particular resolution, the committee reviewed the reinsurance rates for the plan, and that will be actually in resolution number 1617143, but it's tied together, and I'll cover that next.
Thank you. Other discussion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Jeffers?
Aye.
Call?
Aye.
Mayor Mingus?
Aye.
All present voting aye, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Be it resolved, let's see, I think I got this mixed up. Be it resolved by the Council of the City of East Peoria, Illinois, that resolution number 1617143, hereto attached, a resolution regarding reinsurance carrier for the city's group health insurance plan, approving reinsurance coverage contract with Excess Risk Reinsurance, Inc. for 2017 and 2018 fiscal year be approved, and that this resolution number 1617143 be accepted on its first reading as read by its title and be laid on the table for no less than 1 week for public inspection.
Second, please.
Second?
Commissioner Jeffers.
Thank you, Commissioner Jeffers. And this is what I was alluding to. So basically, the city also obtains reinsurance, which is stop-loss coverage for the plan, and this is going to be contracted with Excess Risk Reinsurance, which is an I-Insure company, for the 2017-2018 fiscal year.
Thank you. Other discussion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Jeffers?
Aye.
Call?
Aye.
Mayor Mingus?
Aye.
All present voting aye, Your Honor.
Thank you.
One left, sir.
Can I take these?
Yeah. Resolution number 1617138. Be it resolved by the Council of the City of East Peoria, Illinois, that resolution number 1617138, hereto attached, a resolution approving an agreement between the City of East Peoria Police Department and the East Peoria High School, District 309, to provide school resource officer services, be approved, and that this resolution number 1617138 be accepted on its first reading as read by its title and be laid on the table for no less than 1 week for public inspection.
Second, please.
Second?
Commissioner Jeffers.
Thank you, Commissioner Jeffers. So this is our intergovernment agreement as a school resource officer. It's a 3-year agreement that actually commences on August 15th of this year. Better to do it before the end of the year. This officer that will be assigned to the school is contracted for approximately 180 days, correct, Chief?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. And then the other days, he or
He's
she
paid by the
will
city.
be back to the
We get
city under
reimbursement for
normal
those
duties.
for duty.
So the school district reimburses the city as follows. For the school year 2017-18, it's $73,930 per school year. 2018-19, it's $75,223 per school year. 2019 and 2020, it'll be $76,540 per school year. It's a mutually beneficial and very successful program.
Absolutely.
That's all I have.
Other discussion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Jeffers?
Aye.
Call?
All right.
Mayor Mingus?
Aye.
All present voting aye, Your Honor.
Thank you very much.
That's all I have, sir.
Thank you, Commissioner Call. Anybody in the audience want to speak to the council on a non-agenda item? Come forward, please. Welcome back, Bob. Good to see you again.
Good to see everybody again. Glad to be here. A few things kind of hit home there. I did want to first say that East Peoria Green Team is going to have a glass recycling event at the beginning of June. So keep an eye out for that. It'll be on our website. And you'll see our signs, yard signs around town. They will be talking about it on some of the local radio channels. And so keep an eye out for that and start saving your glass now. Everything but window glass and mirror glass. Listening to your proclamation there, something sure is important. I noticed you mentioned with Parkinson's that it has environmental risk factors. I think we need to keep that in mind in a lot of these different things. A lot of the problems that people have are related to environmental factors. And something that came to mind that I talked to you about last year was the coal tar that is being put onto parking lots. It's an emulsion covering that seals the parking lot, but it's been found to be cancerous. Been a lot of different studies. I will plan on sending information to the gentleman in the front there. I was pleased to be told that we do not use any of that in East Peoria. There's something that is just as good, but it's not carcinogenic. I would urge the commissioners and the mayor to contact maybe Senator Brady, Mr. Summers, Mr. Eunice. There's a bill that is in the Illinois State House, or is going to be, that bans coal tar use on public properties and maybe even private properties. But again, there many studies have shown how carcinogenic this is. People who have lived close to a parking lot, numbers are many times higher for cancer and so forth. So I will be sending that to you to take a look at. And like I said, maybe you could call some of our local legislators, encourage them to support it. Oh, and lastly, I want to thank Mr. Cole, and maybe some of you might even remind him. He said he's going to put tie wraps on the toters over here on the promenade so that the recycle actually stays recycled and people don't lift up the lids to the bins and put in everything else that goes in there. East Peoria Green, once we get those locked down, we'll go over and check a few times, make sure there's nothing contaminated. But I've been told that then they will be picked up and again, they will be free of contamination. And thank you for your time. I'll be in touch.
Thank you for your due diligence, Bob. Anybody else?
On this pickup business, from sitting on this side, you guys must have a real struggle with this balance, with this budget thing, and I can understand where you had to come from, but by cutting out one pickup, and if people would take care of stuff, you wouldn't have to have so many. But you and I both know, when you go down Meadows Avenue and a whole lot of other places, you know, if you go from one year to the next year, we're gonna have a problem, big time. And what's the 25 grand you're gonna save, this is my opinion, don't mean anything, on this pickup, you're gonna probably more than spend in hiring a couple other code enforcement people and hiring that man over there to get them in court and whatever else. So cheap is not always cheap. So that's my opinion. You'll do whatever you want. We could end up with a terrible rodent problem. And well, you've already done what you wanted, okay? I just wanted to air my frustration.
Hey, Bob, I'll actually address that, and I don't think I'll be speaking out of line.
Okay.
I learned about that on the news, quite
Yeah.
honestly.
We all did.
Nobody was aware of it that's sitting up here, and I can assure you, I know Commissioner Decker's not here, and he'll probably have something to say about that in a couple of weeks. Don't know, quite honestly, I don't know who made that decision.
Oh, I don't know. You know,
Yeah.
that's where okay.
I mean, we're not even into the next budget year, so that's still up for discussion, quite honestly, is how I thought it was left. But apparently, somebody stated to the press that it's a done deal, and,
Well, is it
I know
a
that,
deal or not?
well, the first one is definitely scheduled.
Okay, well,
Until
that's,
the,
what- you know.
until the budget is formalized, it's not a done deal.
Okay, well, I mean, I'm going by just what I
Sure.
heard, because the last I heard when you guys were talking, it was still up for grabs, 1 or 2, you know? And
Yeah, and as far as I know, I didn't know there was a final decision made to date. Not to say that somebody didn't make it,
Yeah.
but
I thought Commissioner Call made it.
Yeah,
He
he
said-
thought I
I
did
did.
I pointed to Commissioner Jeffers, and he pointed to the mayor, so,
Don't
So
blame
it's-
it on me then.
Thank you.
yeah. But I
Appreciate-
think it's still up for discussion, and I'm
Appreciate
sure
your
when
comments.
Commissioner Decker gets back, he'll have more to say.
Oh, and I have heard in the coffee clutches around town, being I'm retired and got plenty of time to drink coffee, that there's a lot of people upset about the sewer increase. But that had to be done. I mean, I'm just telling you, there's people out there that's a little perturbed, a little perturbed about it. But it had to be done. And I'm sure you've already heard from plenty of people, without a doubt. Okay, thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Anybody else? All right, motion to adjourn, please.
I have
Oh, I'm
no-
sorry, comments? I'm hungry. No, I'm not. Commissioner Jeffers.
Well, you know, we'll keep talking about garbage. That's with us forever. Taxes and garbage and lots of things like that. I had a trip where where our family's from. It's in Tennessee, and it's a very country area where it's at. And the way they have their garbage pickup there, they don't have obviously pickup at the homes here in the county, and they have the fenced-off areas with dumpsters and recycle bins, and 2 days a week, if you have garbage, you take it down there in your pickup or car, throw it in, and that's it. And I was down there and able to take the garbage and throw it in, and pretty easy, but that's how they handle it because of the situation like that. And we may have that here in Illinois in places, I'm sure, but it's a ongoing thing, landfills and places to put it and cost to haul it, and it's quite a thing. It's quite a costly thing, and yet it's a very needed thing for health reasons and so forth. If we had a great big fire, we could have the fire department burn it up, incinerate it, and it'd be gone, but that isn't an option. So anyway, it's glad to see spring here. The season's changing, warming up a bit. And I know the time changed. Kids enjoy that a lot. I think even adults do too. My neighbor's out beginning to work on his yard. So that'll be here soon enough. But anyway, items Bob mentioned about the sewer plant and so forth, but we can talk about the need. A lot of things that we do because we have to and because it's needed and so forth. So anyway, I have no more comments.
Your 5
sir.
minutes is up, Commissioner. Commissioner Call.
Yeah, just a couple of things. I was actually going to touch on the spring cleanup week since Commissioner Decker's out, and I know he's going to touch up on it at the next meeting, but to remind people, it is the week of May 8th through the 12th. As far as I know, I'm sure there's going to be more to be said about whether or not there's going to be a second one, I don't know. But on that note, and the mayor had mentioned something prior to the meeting about, possibly putting dumpsters at various locations.
An alternative.
Obviously, Bob, we've done that in the Richland community, and we've got plans to do that again soon, and it's a monitored process, and that may be an option moving forward, where we could target areas that there is a nuisance or a problem, and try to clean those areas up with the help of the citizens. It's successful down in the Richland area, and I don't see why it couldn't be across the community. Just a couple quick notes. Farmers Market, they're still seeking vendors. You can get applications online or at City Hall. And that, the reason why I'm bringing it up now is they're still seeking vendors. That'll actually be here before you know it. That runs June 2nd through the September 22nd, and it's every Friday from 3 to 6 p.m. down here in the Levy District. Car seat checks. Fire Department down at Central House, which is 201 West Washington down the road here, on April 5th from 1 to 4. It's a free program. Come in and get your car seats checked. And then I'd like to remind somebody something that has always kind of bothered me and people just don't adhere to it. We have open burning seasons. It's basically twice a year here in East Peoria. And I know people, the minute it got nice out, everyone thought that they could go out and light up their brush and whatever, their leaves. Burning season, the first one, spring, runs from April 1st through April 30th. And I'd like to make a point to ask people or encourage you to go check with your neighbors and make sure no one has any health problems. You know, that's honestly, my neighborhood's terrible, and I know my neighbors cringe when I bring it up publicly, but I don't say anything to you guys that I don't share personally with them. But I'd appreciate if people adhere to this because, you know, quite honestly, we have ordinances there for a reason. And the second one's not until fall. So I don't know how else to get this word out to people, but people just choose not to abide by it, and it's unfortunate. But just a friendly reminder, I know April 1st is around the corner here, but if you can hold off and do it within the guidelines of the ordinance, I'd appreciate it.
Thank you very much. And
All
I
I
did see
have, sir.
smoke, first nice day.
Yep.
All right, now we'll go for a motion to adjourn.
Mr. Mayor, I move that we adjourn until Tuesday evening, April 4th, 2017 at 6 p.m.
And a second, please.
Second.
Commissioner Call, roll call.
Commissioner Jeffers?
Aye.
Call?
Aye.
Mayor Mingus?
Aye.
All present voting aye, Your Honor.
Thank you for everybody for coming too.